Character death, a topic we hate to think about after pouring hours, weeks, months, even years into a single character for a campaign. We can all agree that a character dying is one of the worst things that can happen during a TTRPG, right? Wrong. I disagree, and if you stick around, you'll find out why. I think you should kill your character. Welcome to Dice Anvil. While recording this, we're about to hit 200 subscribers, and I just want to say how thankful I am for you guys. I put a lot of work into these videos, and it's good to know that people are enjoying them. I hope by the end of this video, you want to join the Dice Anvil community by hitting the subscribe button and... Who are you? Hey! Who are you? Okay. That's unexpected, right? I think that's the major problem that players have with their character dying, is that it feels like it's not the right time. And there's some players that say, well, I don't think there is a right time. I think your goal is to keep that character alive for as long as you possibly can, because if you die, you lose. I want my character to stay alive in this campaign that we're gonna play inevitably for 10, 15, 30 years into the future. I really respect people that can play a campaign for years and years and years to come. But let's be real here. I think in most cases, and in a lot of cases for me, you usually start a campaign with this grand idea it's gonna last forever, but eventually it starts to deteriorate. People stop meeting for sessions, and for whatever reason, you guys end the campaign. Without it really ending, it just kind of withers away, and your character drifts off into the emptiness, joining the plethora of other characters you've made in the past. This is no one's fault, by the way, and it's not exactly bad in and of itself. Some people like having just a couple adventures in a consistent world, but don't really need to see it through. But I think we're missing out on something beautiful here. If you've been to this channel before, you know that I've said many times that I believe that story comes first when you're playing an RPG. I want there to be complex narratives, insurmountable conflicts, meaningful character dynamics, all of that inside my games. You can apply all those things to a story to make it good, but if you want it to be great, you're gonna have to make it satisfying. And a satisfying story needs a rewarding conclusion. I love The Walking Dead, but oh my god, I wish it ended halfway through. It was made of pure gold for some of those seasons, but then it kept going on and on and on till eventually, 12 years later, they have the final episode. And it ends in this epic final battle. Our hero, against all odds, is able to overcome. It ends in a cliffhanger. After 12 years, it ends with a cliffhanger. I played so many campaigns that were like this. You play, you develop these characters, you build up this conflict, and you want to know what will happen to these characters, but eventually, you guys might stop meeting, or for whatever reason, the sessions just end. On the other hand, you have a show like Arcane. By the way, if you care about that show, check out my video about it up here. It's 2 seasons long, and it concludes the story. Characters die, arcs are completed, and the threat is neutralized. It promises other possibilities of storylines or spin-offs, but you don't have to watch those. It's a full story by itself, and a beautiful one at that. The entire show, just those 2 seasons, are complete and satisfying. That is so much better. I think if you're going to make a satisfying story, you need to understand how it ends. One of the campaigns I'm playing right now, which I'm not going to say what it is because my fellow players are probably watching this. Hi, Mom. But I have talked to the GM and discussed the best case scenario for my character's ending. Guess what it is? For them to die. Because a character's story will always come to an end. So you got to ask yourself, how do I want that to happen? I just want to clarify, it doesn't have to be death. It can be you riding off into the sunset or accomplishing a goal that you've been working toward the entire campaign. I think about Lord of the Rings, how Aragorn gets crowned king, Frodo leaves Middle-earth with the elves, and Boromir is killed defending the hobbits. All these endings are different, but achieve the same thing. They're all the finale to a character's story. But also, you know which one of these scenes gets referenced the most? The one where Boromir dies. I don't know, just like hammering my point? I don't know. If you're confident that your group will stay playing for years to come, then obviously this applies loosely. I just think people often neglect the idea of coming up with an ending when playing TTRPGs, at least in the case of some TTRPGs. There are games like Heart: The City Beneath where you're literally trying to earn the ability to die and end the adventure. There are games like Slug Blaster where you make high school characters, you play 10 sessions, and by the end, the characters are all adults, and they can look back at those adventures as fond memories of their childhood. Those stories are rememberable, they're complete, they're satisfying, even if the character itself doesn't live to tell the tale. A tip for the GMs: if a character is about to die prematurely, do everything in your power to have that character's death be as meaningful and as impactful as possible. Have them make the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good, or put together the puzzle pieces that will ultimately solve the mystery of this world, or finally fulfill that promise they made to their dying mother. If you realize that your sessions may not be able to continue happening, do everything you can to meet with your group, even briefly, to discuss the endings of these characters' stories in the world. Am I thinking about this too hard? Maybe. Well, probably. But it's coming from a place of passion and care for the stories we make in these games. I'm always going to push for GMs and players to communicate about their goals, and I want you to do that for your character. What's the ideal ending for them? What are some expectations and possible ways you can have your character end in a satisfying way? So yeah, you should kill your character, or at least let them die if the time is right. I would highly advise you to not let your character's ending be slowly fading off into the nothingness of forgotten stories. Like the guy in the beginning of the video said, I'm very thankful for all of you. Please comment down below the coolest way you've ended a character. See you, nerds! Alright. Time to get rid of this body. I could have sworn he was right there. I could have sworn he was right there. Well, thought you got me, huh? No, it can't be. What are you doing? Stop! Wait! No! What do you think about that? It was okay. Like all the D&D lingo, the part about The Walking Dead. Pretty cool, right? Right. Did you like the part about the maybe cutting things off while they're good instead of letting them linger on till they dissipate? You know, you like that part? It was okay. When did you make this? So you get the point. Sometimes you got to end things, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, you want to have a satisfying ending to a character. Exactly, right. Yeah. Me and her mom are getting a divorce. I didn't know how to tell you. Okay. All right. Good talk.